lunch or my breakfast, and the lunch lady, as they still like to be called, smiled at me and checked on my family because they know my grandma. So whatever that one aspect of our school district that people love, that they enjoy, that they value, just to amp that up, if you will, just to talk about that, share it. And so we're going to have some formal media, formal marketing. I haven't seen all the plans just yet because we just kicked off the program. I'm hoping some billboards to be in there, definitely a lot of media coverage, a lot of play on our website and perhaps others. And so that I'm especially excited about. Because as I talk with other people, especially people who choose to go to a suburban school district, because in the past students have fared better in those suburban schools than our urban school district, or maybe they choose a charter school because they have specific focus and a smaller class size. We want people to say, you know what? St. Paul Public Schools, they have it going on. There's a lot of good there. They have some challenges, some opportunities, but my children will get a good education if I bring them into St. Paul Public Schools or bring them back to St. Paul Public Schools. And that's what I want as a board member, along with my 6 colleagues, and so I'm especially excited about that marketing plan that we have.
Right, and I think this idea of trying to keep the students in the St. Paul School District rather than having them flee. There's been plenty of articles about the flight to other school districts or to charter schools or whatever, that in many ways I think that makes it very difficult for the school district to do what they need to do, both financially and also in trying to plan how to plan for the future, because you don't know who's, you have an idea what your demographics are, but if a certain segment of the demographics have left, then how do you deal with that?
Exactly, exactly. And that's the ultimate goal, is that we retain the students and families we currently have, and that we can bring a few more in to our schools and say, oh, yeah, this is the place I want to be. Another program we have in St. Paul Public Schools that I'm just overly excited about is our tutoring program that we offer through our St. Paul Public School Foundation. So last Thursday, so the day after we had the marketing kickoff, we had our annual breakfast to celebrate the St. Paul Public School Foundation, and in particular, the service they offer through tutoring. So this school year, our executive director, Mike Anderson, said we have more than 2,500 adult tutors coming into our various schools and spending time, one-on-one time with students. I happen to be one of those tutors. I work with now a 6th grader at our aerospace school, our Farnsworth Aerospace School, helping her with math learning and math skills. It's so rewarding. And so now, as I'm talking with constituents here in this re-election campaign year, and I talk to people and they say, well, I don't have any children in school anymore. They've all graduated, or I never had children. I'm not really paying attention to what's happening in schools. And I always say to them, I ask of you as a current school board member, pick a school, pick one that's close to you in your neighborhood, and just come in, even if it's just once a year. Tell your life story, read with a child, sit in the classroom. The teachers love it, and they tell me that. We just love having another adult in the classroom. It helps with classroom management skills, especially with the larger class sizes that we have in our urban schools. But just another positive adult role model who children or students can look to and say, oh, okay. They're here, they care about me, I can see them face to face, they're reading with me, they're telling me their life story about their career or what they did when they were in school.
And even that perspective of when they were kids and how things changed for them, either because they had somebody who was significant in their life or that there was some dream that they had. It sort of reminds me of a story when I was mayor. There were often times where people would invite me to go to classes or whatever, and there was this one summer school class where these students, they were in summer school so that they could increase their proficiency of English language. And these kids were probably, I don't know, anywhere from 3rd grade to 6th grade. And they're all sitting around and they're looking at me. Here I am, the mayor. And I gave them a little story and I said, when I was in 1st grade, we had 3 different reading levels in our class. There was the first, which was the best, the middle, and then the last. Can you kids guess which level, which group I was in? And, oh, number 1. The mayor must have been in number 1, right? Number 2, no. no, that wasn't it. No, it was number 3. It was the lowest because I had a problem with reading. I don't know why, I just did. And I told them about the importance, though, of sitting down and continuing to read and over. And then I said, and then the next year, when we were tested again, and there was the same 3 classes, 1, 2, and 3, what level do you think I went to? And they all went, oh, number 1. I said, that's right.
Yes.
And that's exactly what your story's going to be, too. And they all were just so excited about this idea because here was somebody from the community coming in and sharing a story about the struggle of reading or math or whatever, and actually anybody in the whole community can do that and come in and tell the kids stories to give them inspiration of how they too can do something positive. And you don't have to have kids to be in the school district to do that. As you said, anybody can come and volunteer in their community school and do exactly that.
Yes, and that's a great and a powerful story. Thank you for sharing that. And that's what I ask people, that's what they can do, is tell their own story, whether they were a great student, especially if they struggle, because it's nice for students to hear, struggle for a while, these people came in and helped me, I got better. And as you mentioned in your message, you can do that too. And quickly on the tutoring program, if people want to spend that much time and they look for someone to come in once a week or once every other week, if you have a schedule like mine, you get training. And so sometimes people say, well, I can't be a tutor, I don't know math that well, I don't know if I'm really comfortable teaching reading. So you get some training and then you come in to whatever grade level you're comfortable with and spend the time with the students.
That's very great. Also with our viewers out there, I want to remind them, if you would like to know more about what's going on in Keith Hardy's campaign, of course his website is on the TV screen there. So after the program, feel free to click on and go take a look at what's on the website there. And that reminds us, of course, the election is coming up Tuesday, November 8th. So we'll put that little reminder up for our viewers so that they don't, make sure, mark your calendar. Because, again, whether you're in St. Paul, Maplewood, Roseville, wherever, there's elections all over the whole metro area being served by this program. So at the very least, you want to mark your calendar for November 8th and get out to vote. Now, Mr. Hardy, with the school board, how many positions are open this election?
This election cycle, this is our 4-seat cycle. And at the meeting that I was at previously at Metro State, we talked about how this kind of year is sometimes called an off-election year. And Melvin Carter spoke, he's up for re-election over the St. Paul City Council, and he said, now tell me, you want for people who are going to be having a hand in your child's educational future, in your child's future, and city council people who are taking care of your taxes and your yard and your lawn. So tell me if this is an off-election year. So I liked how you phrased that.
That's right. Exactly.
So it's very important. And I ask the viewers, as you're looking at me as a candidate, you're looking at now the other 9 people who want to be one of those 4 elected on November 8th, ask us questions about what you feel your role is in increasing the academic achievement of students, because that should be job number 1. Job 1 for a school board member is we get together for the meetings, to talk about policy, talk about practices, because we want to increase the academic achievement of our students, again, so they can graduate college and career ready, not needing remedial education, being able to apply for a job and not have the HR person go, man, what in the world did you write me on your resume here, or have that phone interview and be able to get through it comfortably without stumbling over the words. I mean, that's what we need to have our students ready for in our school district. So please ask the candidates that tough question. So, you talk about this, talk about that. How's that going to relate to increasing academic achievement for our students? So I just throw that out there because that's what we should be focusing on and what all of us currently are focusing on.
Good point. It's always important to know what kinds of questions to ask the candidates, because whether or not they're incumbents or they're challengers, they should all be able to answer that question.
Exactly.
Regardless of whether or not they've been in the office or that they're seeking to be in the office.